that options for a wheeled tank destroyer from Europe, South Korea and Turkey are currently being considered. The requirement for a wheeled vehicle was made explicit when Defense Secretary Delphin Lorenzana revealed last August that the Army was interested in armored vehicles weighing less than 20 t. If funds do not permit a 30mm gun, the Army might have to settle for a 6x6 hull carrying an RWS armed with a 12.7mm machine gun. Whichever company is selected for the wheeled requirement would find itself in pole position to supply the extant requirement for light tanks as well. Specifications have not been finalized by the Army's technical working group yet, but the preference is for a diesel-powered tracked vehicle weighing less than 35 t and armed with a 105mm gun. Companies are already making proposals to the Army. Therefore, of the 44 AFVs required and funded, the Army will probably opt for a mix of wheeled and tracked vehicles. Max Defense believes the procurement process may start late this year or early next year. The number of tracked light tanks available on the international market is limited. Although there is a European option, two contenders come from Asia: PT Pindad's Kaplan, developed in conjunction with FNSS, and Hanwha Defense Systems K21-105. Both platforms feature a CMI defense turret and Cockerill 105mm high-pressure gun. Xavier Rigo, communication manager at CMI Defense, told Shefford. The Cockerill 3105 is the market-leading 105mm turret for the light medium-weight tracked and wheeled vehicle segment. It is currently in series production, and it is integrated with the PT Pindad medium tank and Hanwha Defense Systems K21-105 medium tank. The Cockerill 3105 turret is also selected by SAIC for its entry into the U.S. Army's Mobile Protected Firepower program. Rigo added, market interest in the Cockerill 3105 turret continues to grow as its utility and value for high-mobility systems is increasingly appreciated. CMI Defense would not be drawn on specific Philippine requirements, however. We are a supplier of large and critical subsystems to vehicle OEMs and to system prime contractors. As such, questions relating to the supply of a light tank to the Philippines are an issue for the vehicle system OEM or system prime. There are rumors that Belgium had enacted an arms embargo against the Philippines due to the issue of extrajudicial killings under President Rodrigo Duterte's administration. If true, that would have meant the Philippines could not consider the Kaplan, K21-105 or any vehicle fitted with a CMI defense turret or gun, since the latter is a Belgian company. However, Shefford is determined that no such embargo is in place. A Belgian federal government official noted. At the moment there is no implementation of any arms export embargo against the Philippines because of human rights concerns. Nevertheless, Frieda Koosmans, advisor for the Belgian Directorate General for Economic Analyses and Global Economy, added, the export of weapons and dual-use goods is always subject to control in order to safeguard international security. Therefore, companies involved in the trade of these items have to comply with strict rules. Likewise, a spokesman from the Walloon Authority added, there is no Walloon embargo on the Philippines. Export requests are examined on a case-by-case basis. Of interest, 4 Steyr-Pander 2 8x8 vehicles, 2 with a 12.7mm RWS, 1 with a 30mm RWS, and 1 with a 105mm gun, arrived in Indonesia last September. It is unclear whether the Indonesian Army is interested in the type or whether they are being evaluated by PT Pindad. Another pertinent question is whether the Philippines will consider Chinese and Russian vehicles. Norinco makes the VT-5 tank that weighs approximately 35 t. However, the Philippine military would be leery of buying such equipment from China, with which it has territorial. Duterte has previously given overtures to buying more Russian equipment, but the only likely candidate from there would be a BMD-4-based platform. Light tanks armed with a heavy gun would have proved useful in urban fighting, as the military retook the town of Marawi from Islamic insurgents. Nevertheless, vehicles fitted with an RWS proved themselves there thanks to their accuracy, night fighting capability and crew safety. The Philippine Army deployed 4 mechanized battalions, 1 cavalry squadron and a light armored troop, totaling 120 AFVs. A number of their lightly armored vehicles were seen fitted with all manner of homemade protection against RPGs. In addition to its quest for light tanks, the Philippine Army plans to upgrade 44 of 114 M113A2s received from U.S. excess defense articles in 2015. This M113 firepower upgrade program, funded to the tune of PHP 1,051,650,000, $20.5 million, will add a 12.7mm machine gun and an RWS to the vehicles. Given that Elbit Systems has already successfully upgraded 28 M113s for the Philippines, with 14 receiving 76mm gun turrets from dilapidated FV-101 Scorpion tanks, 4 gaining 25mm UK-25 unmanned turrets and 6 receiving a 12.7mm Dragon RWS, the Israeli company is in prime position to win this next contract. Among this batch of 44 M113s, 5 will be converted into mortar carriers featuring a Soltum Cardam 81mm mortar from Elbit Systems. The mortar mount will be able to accommodate 120mm Cardam mortars when they are acquired in the future. This project falls under the second list of Horizon 1 of the Army's modernization plan. The Philippine Army has no more than 10 Scorpion light tanks in service, some of which were used in Marawi.